or it's just the four of us?
5, 4,
Oh.
3, 2, 1. We are live. We got 167 people on, 334, 406, 502, 629, 750,
Incredible.
888, 948, 1011, 1071, 1204, 1300, 1415, 1537. Good thing, David, you spent the money and got this line upgraded.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a chore to get done.
1901.
Folks, I know we are live, but I think we're going to end up maxing out at that 300. So we're just letting everybody get in. There were some emails and texts that some people are still re-registering because they're not getting the emails and all that. So give us a couple of minutes and then we'll start.
Actually, you said 300, 3,000.
Oh, I did say 300?
Yes, you did.
Oh my gosh. Wait, was
300.
that? Oh, I meant 300 HUs.
You're not going to get much for 300 HUs
Oh, mercy.
because you got to get them out first.
Oh, mercy.
Okay, Troy. Okay. Let's not start it yet. I've been squinting because I was looking at this monitor for the last 3 days straight.
Welcome to the club.
2064.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
And they're still coming in.
Yeah, they're still rolling in, guys.
Mhm. They're still coming in.
You know, if David can do this, I don't know why corporate's always stuck at 1,000 and that's it.
Mhm.
Well, you have to spend the money. That was like, oh my gosh. And they don't give you a discount either. You already paid for a year for, 1,000, right? And then you only want to upgrade it for a month or a short period of time. They make you pay for the whole thing, So,
Wow.
but hey, we got to get the message out. And
Absolutely.
We get a lot of people with their hands up already. We're going to allow as many people to ask questions at the end as possible. Why don't we start out with this? Go ahead and do a disclaimer, David, and then we'll just start answering a few questions before we get into it. And let some people emailed me some questions I want to answer, and then you guys probably got some people emailing you, and then we'll get everything on the chat.
well, I'll just go ahead and just do the intro and get it started, and then we'll just dive right into it. Let's see here. Well, it's still going, but it's okay. So we'd like to thank everyone for taking the time out to join us tonight or today or morning, depending on where you are in the world. I know that there's people from all over the place. The Satoshi Show has always been a private consultant research and educational firm, and we evaluate passive reward opportunities and specialize in helping our audience with marketing strategies, goals, and to develop multiple streams of passive rewards. That's what we've always been. You are here today because you want answers. What you hear from us is what we gathered in meetings and some updates that we have been changing week to week. Other information from questions from other team and answers from the hyper management. We hope to help you with what we share today so you can make the best decision for your situation. But remember, if we stay together, we are stronger in numbers. I'm going to be introducing my partner, Troy Rader, in a second here, but we also have a couple of V5s and nodes, Marcus Davis and Eric Brown, that is going to share their opinions and what they've gathered. Troy, my partner, is a great communicator, great partner, and a great marketer, and have built teams in the thousands. He was curious about crypto in 2009 and exploded in 2016, doing mining, trading, running master nodes, and consulted on various crypto projects. So without further ado, my partner, Troy Rader, a trusted crypto Satoshi buddy.
Oh,
Right on. Thanks for that intro, David. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. But I'm lucky to have David as a partner. He's the tech guy. He's ran a team of 30 IT guys. He's the expert. When they get in trouble, they call him. But he's also been at the top of several household name network marketing companies, very top guys, direct sales companies. He knows the business. He knows what happens, knows what to look for. And he's been doing a lot of research, as well as our upline, Eric Brown and Marcus Davis. So they're going to give their views on what's going on, what's happening, where we're headed, what we should do. So take notes, get a pen. If you don't have a pen, I always carry a pen, guys, because you're going to need to take some notes here. But first up, I want to start. I'm getting a ton of emails here, and I usually don't even ask questions off the emails, but a couple of these are pretty pertinent. So Gary Hauser sent me one. It says, I'm signed up for the meeting tonight. Please tell me about the status of Who. I assume he's talking about the Who exchange. I have recently had my withdrawals moved from pending to getting sent to Who. The first thing that Who did was freeze them. Any news would be appreciated. Okay, guys. Let me share my screen for a second, then I'll pull it back to share screen. Okay, so there's Gary's email. Now, let me just show you. The Who exchange is up and running. In fact, I'm speculating. I bought some Who, the native token of the Who, because they ran into problems like everyone else did. There's a lot of CEOs of exchanges getting sent to jail. I mean, there's been a free fall because one company borrowed from another company that borrowed from another company. For instance, CoinDesk right now, crypto lender Vald. Now, Vald is not just any lender. The people involved in Vald are Peter Thiel, billionaire Peter Thiel. He started several online companies, and also Coinbase Ventures is they're part of Vault. They were investors early on. So Peter Thiel, I'm trying to think, PayPal. It was his company, PayPal, his claim to fame. So Vald loaned money to a company that is a lender against crypto assets, which loaned it to Three Arrows Capital, which misappropriated funds and lost, tens of billions of dollars. And so Who's tied up in that? Because they take their crypto or your crypto, and they have what's called Who Earn, or they did have Who Earn until recently. You could get into Who Earn, and Who Earn is closed now. You could put in and earn interest by staking your crypto. So the thing about Who right now, guys, is they're restructuring. Nobody's went to jail. If you've heard anything like that, it's nonsense. We believe they're going to make a recovery. And so I couldn't withdraw my USDT. I had a little USDT in there. So right after this announcement, the native token that powers this whole thing dropped to 41 cents. So I put in a order for all the USDT I had for 42 cents. And the fact that it's already up to 67 and earlier today it was up to 77 means that people in the know are seeing that this exchange is pulling itself together. They're waiting on liquidity providers to pay them back the crypto that they're owed so they can release shares. They are letting about 142 cryptos out. So if you've got, for instance, if you've got Bitcoin or USDT and you can't get it out, then you could exchange it for some other coin and actually get it out, like PaxG or something like that. But what you want to do is either get on the Twitter and watch the who, what's going on with who on Twitter, or better yet,
Troy, can I add something to that? And that is,
Telegram.
Troy,
Yeah.
when you guys are looking at the coins that they're allowing you to withdraw from who, make sure you check the prices from different exchanges.
Absolutely, because when no one's bringing coins in, everyone's trying to get them out. There's a lot of people fighting over buying the coins that are in there. Now that's a great arbitrage opportunity, but again, you've got some risk. Is the exchange going to start allowing withdrawals? Are they going to, prorate how much you can pull out? Are they going to say we've only got enough to let everyone get out half? There's a lot of ifs, but if you're absolutely certain that who's going to come back, and they are staying in contact, they got announcements every single day here on the Telegram channel. You can look at the last one, and dear who, announcement for the recall of cross-chain assets on the HSC Who Smart Chain. So if you've got assets on HSC, not the Ethereum network, not the Binance network, but the HSC network, if you've staked some coins, in one of their programs on the HSC network, you need to pull them back, otherwise they're going to be lost. But see, that's July 19th. Every single day they give you an update here. And so if you believe that this leadership and ownership of this Who exchange is, serious about, getting everything rolling again, there are some arbitrage opportunities, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And I'm banking on it because I bought a bunch of Who coin.
Troy,
yeah.
there were some questions that, there was a day or two that the Who website went down. Can you share that with people so that, because they're all thinking that, oh my God, Who's gone and all that, but I know that you have an explanation for that.
Absolutely. Let's just go to the horse's mouth here. Let's see, translate to English. There we go. Nope, that's not it. One more. Let's go. I'm just going to read exactly their words for it. Here we go. It's on Twitter, guys. Translate to English. There we go. Okay. Fang Webin, screen name top, the former head of Binance Security, took advantage of his position to delete the company's system privately at Who, which made the company unable to access the system and caused the main domain to temporarily malfunction. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. And then later on, it says Fang Webin, posing as the name of the public security economic blah, 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 stole the company's information assets without going through legal procedures, causing the platform to be paralyzed for a time. He should be held criminally responsible. If you go down, that's just one guy writing that. They are holding him criminally responsible. He's been arrested. And, it was one guy trying to cause a problem, and he did. He might have got paid off for it. Who knows? There's a lot of nefarious stuff going on. There's a lot of infighting between exchanges and stuff. So just a word of wisdom, and you guys, most of you already know this, it's always better to keep your, get your assets off the exchanges as soon as you can. I've lost money on in 2016, I believe, 2017, when the exchange out of New Zealand, Cryptopia, went down. I lost a bunch of Bitcoin and Dogecoin and a lot of privacy coins. And what happened was they don't just disappear. The government took it over, and then they went to court for 4 years to decide who owned the assets. Do the assets belong to the people who had the individual accounts and put those assets there, or purchase those digital assets, or do those assets belong to the company, to the exchange, the brokerage, which since it declared bankruptcy after it was hacked, do those assets now belong to the state, which took receivership? And so that was the deal. It took them 4 years to decide that in court. I still don't have my crypto back from that. So that's what happens when an exchange fails. You know, they shut everything down. This exchange hasn't failed. It's still working. You can still trade. I could trade my WHO back for USDT now that I made a nice profit. You know, a lot of things. So I wouldn't write off the WHO exchange right now. In fact, there's some, you know, like I say, arbitrage opportunities. If you absolutely need to get your coins out of there, you could go, let's see, one of the coins they said was PAXG. PAXG is a good coin. It's gold. It's backed by gold. One PAXG is backed by 1 ounce of gold. So, okay, let's PAXG, man, it's right. People are arbitraging. So if you wanted to convert your USDT, it would cost you $5,900 to buy 1 PAXG and get it out of there, which is about 3 times the price. Now, USDC, 2,319, which if you go to Coin Market Cap, cap.com, we'll just put in PAXG. Everyone can do this. PAXG, because they'll let you convert your crypto, whatever crypto you got, to PAXG, and then you can take out PAXG. Okay, it's 1,694. See, 1 unit of PAXG equals 1 ounce of gold. It's one of the few cryptos that it's out of New York, and it's got a New York depository, and it's audited. It's also regulated. It's regulated and regularly audited to make sure the gold is there. You can actually redeem 1 PAXG for 1 ounce of gold, you know, right from the depository. So it's a good thing, guys. But gold's dropping, so PAXG's dropping a little bit. So 1639, if you wanted to exchange on the exchange, 2,319. So you're paying about $600 more, $550 more. So you're losing about a fourth of your money right there by doing it. But if you absolutely need to get your assets out, convert them to, there's 142 different currencies that are letting you pull out. In fact, let me go back to the Telegram. I'll just show you guys where to find that. And then we're going to drop this thing, and you know everything about WHO. So if you go to WHO announcement right there, let me see if I can get a link and put it in the WHO announcement channel. Here we go. That's Twitter. It's WHO.com. Here we go. TME.announcement. I'm just gonna copy link, and I'm gonna put it in the chat, guys. And so you'll have access to all this. Just get on Telegram, or you can get on Twitter or Medium. They're all over. But watch this. So the pinned messages, or you can just scroll up. See WHO announcement. Okay. It'll say all the tokens. So this one says UMB, X Razor, Holo, Elon, ARV. See, every day they add some more coins that you can pull out. Gal, Hashland, KT Dome. There's a bunch of them. I don't even know what they are. There's some more PSPs on there. And so you can get an overall list of them too. And
So Troy,
yeah.
let me jump in for a minute. So you're saying that if you really need some liquidity, this is the best option, the PAXG? Is that what you're saying, the PAXG?
Well, I haven't went through all the options yet. PAXG is something I hold just in case there's a World War III breaks out, gold goes up. This is one coin that I know is backed by gold, 1 ounce per 1 PAXG. It's a good coin. It doesn't have a lot of liquidity, not a big coin, but it's a good coin. you'll always get your money out of it. It don't vary a lot, but you're going to pay a premium for it right now
Oh.
because nobody's putting anything in the WHO. They're just taking it out. So the guys that have PAX G on there, they're going to sell it for a premium because
They're
they're
making a
selling it for
killing.
USDT. They're gambling. They're gambling. They're saying, we're going to sell our PAX G for almost double what it's worth.
Gotcha.
But we're going to get USDT. We don't know how long it'll be before we can get our USDT out. See, so if you need to get your money out, you can use PAX G, or you could use Polyswarm or MTS or Dark or GUSD. You know, any of these. There's 142. Like I said, you can click on any of these things, and you know it'll take you where all these tokens. So so that's just. Yeah.
Hey, Troy, it looks like the chat has been disabled or something for some reason, because it's only going to the host and panelists.
Oh, I didn't click everyone. Let me do this again here. I'll put everyone paste. That was my bad answer. There we go. I had hosts and panelists. Okay, so let me stop my share. I'm going to turn this over to someone else.
Well, wait, Troy, before you do that, you went into the part where you said, if you know, one of the safety things that you did on an exchange was that you didn't want to leave all your funds on the exchange. Basically, what you're saying is that you kept some on the exchange, but then you kept some on.
Yeah, you always want to have a decentralized wallet, guys. MetaMask or I like hardware wallets, Ledger Nano OS, Trezor, BitFi. BitFi is a good one. That's never. They put out a $500,000 reward. The CIA did, and I think the IRS did, because they wanted someone to hack it, and nobody's been able to hack that one. So that's a good wallet, guys. Of course, Trezor is easier to use. Ledger Nano OS. That's what the BitFi looks like. So there's a lot of wallets you can use, but never only keep the assets on an exchange that you're going to be trading. You know, you don't want to store things on an exchange, because when stuff like this happen, one exchange goes down, another goes down, another goes down. I believe who's going to pull out of it, but it's going to take a while. And so, like I say, there's some things you can do there, but hindsight's 2020. We should have told you this a long time ago, which I know we have on many calls. We said, don't keep your crypto on an exchange. It's okay for a short period of time, but if you've got your, you know, like this guy Gary that just wrote me, and he said that he's finally got his MOF released. It was pending forever. They paid it out. Now it's on his WHO exchange. Well, MOF could go down or it could go up in value, guys. So if it was me, even though you can't get the MOF out of the WHO right now, I'd take it, I'd exchange it for a stable coin like USDT or maybe even Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's going up right now, guys. That's one of the good, that's probably the only good news we have on this call right now, or real good news we have is that Bitcoin's going up. So in fact, let me just do this, share screen one more time. Share. We're going to get rid of that. I'm going to show you guys something if I got it here. There we go. Take a look at that. That's the hourly chart since about the 13th. Today's the 20. Well, it's the 20th somewhere. It's the 19th here in the US. But it's been going up. See, that's a nice channel going up. In fact, let's look at it this way. There's a right there, the 13th of July, and it's just been going up. It's, if you guys are traders, that's the easiest money you'll ever make. Every time it makes a peak, just sell. When it makes a bottom, buy. See, it's bouncing off this 50 line. This is the 50 period moving average, and this is the hourly chart. So, you know, it's 50 hours, and it just comes down, bounces off it. So I bought a couple right there, and then it goes up. I sold earlier today right there. So that's good news. We hit 24,000 today. It's been down as low as 17,000. So That's real good news. We just hope it continues. So with that said, I want to stop my share. I'm going to turn it over to my sponsor, David and I. This man sponsored the Satoshi Show, Eric Brown. Eric, let's hear your take on what's going on. I know you got a ton of information you're dying to throw out there.
So you know, the thing is, my whole thing is it's based on what I'm hearing from corporate in terms of where we are as far as hyperverse and hypernation. But the positive news is that everyone, according to corporate, will at least get what they put into the platform. So that's a good thing. Also, the positive thing is that the site is still up. We're still getting rewards. The company hasn't totally fell off the map. And all we could do is just hope that they deliver on the promise, which is at least making sure everybody gets their 1X as this market continues to get stronger and stronger. And it's one of those things where we're just like in a holding pattern. I like the fact that we are seeing that people are getting their withdrawals released. So that's the positive news, guys, okay? Because we've all been in companies where it was here today and gone tomorrow. They crashed and burned. So I'm the type person that's very optimistic. I like to be optimistic and positive, put that positive energy out there, and only hope for the best, okay? I don't know how Hypernation is going to work out, but all we can do is sit there and watch and see, you know, what happens. We can't control. We can only control what we can control, guys. And it just makes no sense in getting upset or getting pissed off. I do know that Hyper has done so much for so many people. It's probably the biggest opportunity I've ever been in where I've seen so many people get blessed on a daily basis. So like I said, the company plans on making everybody whole at the minimum. And I'm just standing by, you know. There's a lot of changes being made. You know, we just got to hang tight, be patient. I know people are tired of we've been patient a long time, and I realize that, but I am like, again, I'm going to be optimistic about it. And you know, the WHO is here, and you can liquidate some of your tokens at a cost, obviously, but we can still do business. We can still earn crypto. So
yeah, and just let people know there's many other exchanges you can use. You know, a lot of people set up with the WHO in the beginning, and so they've never changed that. And so those pending withdrawals are going to the WHO. But if you're a new guy that hasn't ever taken anything out, don't set it up with the WHO. Set it up with another exchange that uses MOF. Put it out there, and then you're okay when you get your withdrawal. One other thing, I got a quick question for you here, Eric, and then we're going to bring on Marcus. There's a lady here that just wrote me, Country Gal 1861. I guess it's Lori. I have a few questions perhaps you can answer on tonight's call. What happens after the 25th? Meaning, if we do not have $100 to purchase the yellow box, then we will not be able to switch our HV over to HN. So hyperverse to Hypernation. Doesn't seem fair that the ones who haven't gotten 1X or 2X are having difficulty like this. And she goes on to explain it. Well, my take, I'm going to do my take, and then Eric, you know, we all have our own opinions, and they're just opinions. I'm not going over to Hyperverse or Hypernation, guys. I'm sticking with Hyperverse. And what I'm telling my personally sponsored members is do not do rebuys. Just allow your rewards to stack up until you've got, you know, 2 or 3 times what your membership was, and then make one big withdrawal with all of it in MOF, unless they have something else that's better at that time. But right now, MOF, and pray you get it soon. You know, don't make a lot of small withdrawals here and there. Just store it all up. Don't do rebuys. If you do rebuys, you got no bargaining power. And I'm going to turn it over after that. But So number two, can HV allow us to purchase the yellow box with 100 HU? No, they used to do that, but they don't do that anymore. You can't use your HU to purchase the yellow box. And she says, I can't pay my bills or my kids to keep being patient. Please help. So there's a lot of people hurting right now. They never pulled out any withdrawals, any rewards. And so what would you say to that, Eric?
So again, we can't control what corporate does, okay? We can't accelerate what they're doing. And my thing is, I mean, it's unfortunate. I've seen this thing do a tremendous amount of good for people. And what I'm seeing is we just have no control on what they decide to do with the platform. I mean, maybe Marcus, because I mean, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be in Hyperverse, because I spoke to him first and he gave me enough information to make an informed decision. But I'd love to hear what he's got to say in regards to this. But it's unfortunate. I mean, there are people who were paying their bills with this, rightfully so, because things were cranking a couple of months ago. We realized that. So it's so unfortunate. But I mean, again, we're just reps like you, okay? We may have I like to say, some of us may have the ear of the company, but it all comes down to what they decide to do. We can tell them this is what we suggest, but whether they do it or not is a different story. But I mean, I don't have anything else to add to that. My buddy Marcus, if you can jump in there, you usually,
I could.
Yeah, sure.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to introduce myself. Everybody knows my name. But I want to start off. I think one of the biggest questions is where is Hyper going? People have that in the back of their minds. They're unsure. They're in this season of doubt. And the truth is, none of us on this line know where they're going. Troy mentioned it. He said that he was not going to the nation. Neither am I. My opinion, again, this is just a Marcus Davis view. My opinion is going to the nation gives up all of my leverage. What is leverage? Leverage is the ability to negotiate terms. There's been a lot of stuff out here on the telegrams. There's been a lot of stuff in different groups where you hear rebuy, cancel your withdrawals. You hear a lot of this stuff. Now, again, they give reasoning behind reasons to do that. So let me give you a reason why I'm not going to do that. Canceling a withdrawal takes you out of the queue to be paid, period. Rebuying, you now have no reward, so technically they don't owe you anything. All of your leverage is now gone. And the only place for you is where? The nation. That's it. But how do you get there? You must make a $100 purchase to get there. And what is the requirement? You must make a minimum of a $400 new entry. What is the benefit? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Now, why is that troublesome? It's troublesome because if you go to the car dealer to buy a car and they give you the car, right? And you say, is there gas in it? And you ask the question, is there gas in it? And the seller of the car says to you, I'm not sure, but buy it anyway. I'm not sure if there's gas in it, but buy it anyway. You have to make up in your mind whether or not you think he would give you a car with no gas, or do you believe it could have gas? So then all of a sudden I call it negotiation comes in. Now your wheels start turning. If you ask if there's no gas in it, what are you willing to do to, I don't know if you have gas in that car. I'm going to negotiate now. What are you willing to sell me the car for? Because I haven't seen it. You haven't even turned the car on yet. I don't even know if the car will start. You don't know. See, I'm not willing to play that kind of game. You understand? I go to the car dealer to buy a car. I want to know that there's gas in it when I pull off. I want to know that there's an engine in the car. I want to know that the seats recline. How about you? Because if I pick up the car and I leave the lot, that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Once you bought it, it's yours. I'm not interested in buying stuff like that. I can't, because I try to manage my asset well. So if you present that to me that way, it just clouds me just a touch. So staying in hyperverse, I realized that if I had rewards, let them build. If I had a pending, I'm going to leave it a pending withdrawal. Because if everybody cancels them, I think I might be the only one left in the queue. I'll take my chances there. That's where you want to be. Gives you some leverage. And so you hear of all of these changes. There have been different reports that have been put out all throughout Telegram of what's going on, questions to ask, questions not to ask, questions that they're not going to answer. 3 very important questions that we have not gotten clarity on. Is reason why I'm not going to the nation. So for clarity is, who are the new owners? Just as it's silent right now, it's silent to them. They said they do not want to be seen. They're silent. If you're silent and you don't want to be seen, then how can we work together as a team? I at least have to know who you are. That's first and foremost. If I'm going to the nation, I have to know what I'm going to. See, hyperverse was already good. So my feet were planted. But if I'm going to go over to the other side, I have to know what I'm going to. I can't walk across the street blindly, because let's say right now you walk out your front door and you put on a blindfold and you walk in the middle of the street. My question to you is, do you think you'll make it to the other side? If you think you'll make it to the other side, then I would strongly encourage you to go ahead and do what you're going to do. But if you put those blindfolds on and walk across the street blindfolded, and a semi-truck comes down the street and smashes you, ask yourself the question when you make it to the other side, why did the semi-truck smash me? It's because you walked across the street with a blindfold on. You were unable to look to your left and to your right to see if there was traffic coming. Now, when we were kids, didn't your mother and father always tell you, look both ways before you cross? You go out there with blinders on, you're in trouble. We've been asked to walk with blinders on. That's very uncomfortable, especially not knowing. And so the whole purpose of this call was to inform what was happening in the verse. The last time we were here, we said we would come back, give you some information on what was going on. The sad part is we're right back where we were with limited information to share, but you all know that. Many of you who go to all of these Zooms that are out there, you see they're giving the exact same information. We went from June to July to now August, and now we still have nothing to go on. What does that mean? Because it's important for you to understand, what does that mean? That means we are still in the dark. Now, am I hopeful? The answer is I am. But my trust has been broken. Why? Because if I can't trust you, it makes it hard to work with you. What's my commitment? My commitment is to those people who have never received one times. My commitment is to them because they've never received. Troy just read something. The lady said, how can you help me? We're dealing with that every single day. Families are being torn apart because they have been given no communication. They have no clue. So if you take away their withdrawals, you take them away. We put those withdrawals on the cold digital currency winter, the crypto winter. My question to all of you is it really a winter? Ask yourself the question, is it really a winter? The only thing we fund Hyper with is USDT Tether. We do not fund with Bitcoin, we do not fund with Ethereum, and we do not fund with Litecoin. We fund with Tether. So you have to start thinking outside the box and understand what you're in. No negative, just a positive. Is it a winter or is it not? Because if new USDT is coming in, clearly that is a stable coin. Stable. What did Troy say earlier? Buy a stable coin. So if it's stable, that just means there's some weight there. Where is that weight? Where is the certified? One of the calls, they talked about launching a new token. Now, launching a new token, what is that token going to be? So keep your rewards safe, no rebuy, so that if there is a new token, you can transfer, exchange, and withdraw for it. If you've rebought, you will be able to do none of the above. Keep all of that in mind. And again, I have been dedicated to Hyper. I am now just dedicated to my members getting one-time reward. And I want you to understand that. This has been this 4.5 month journey for me has been long and hard. I've got 118,000 people with the same issue. I've got 1,500 people not with the issue. So where is my concern with those 1,500? And those 1,500, they have blatantly said they may not fix it. How do I tell a family that? How do I do that? I'm still trying to figure that out, guys. I am as open as possible with everything that I do. I pull no punches, I hide nothing because I'm not supposed to. Leadership doesn't hide, leadership faces it. We face it head on. So I am now in a position to try to find an answer. So I don't deal with the problem. I deal with finding an answer. That is the most important thing. And before I go on, I want to read you something because this is so important. And many of you are feeling like this. So I wanted to address, this is what I read tonight in worship. It says, what do you do when it seems as if people, what do you do when it seems as if people want to stay in their pain? They have a story to tell and they tell you every chance they get. It may get to the point that they become so entrenched in their pain that they stop looking for a way out. Well, believe it or not, they may like where they are. Our job is to leave them there. You can point the way out of pain, but you cannot force them to get out. You can support the move beyond their limitations, but you cannot make the move. Movement requires learning from painful experiences by recognizing the role we have played. If we continually tell the story without drawing a conclusion, we become the victims of the drama of the pain. What does that mean? So you hear a lot of people complaining and talking about, oh my goodness, when is this thing going to end? Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Oh my goodness, everybody's got an oh my goodness. What are we willing to do about that oh my goodness? Because we don't want to be consumed by the drama of the pain. We want to put in a plan of action to relieve us from the pain. That is the most important thing we can do. And presently, we've already done the first 2.5 months of this 2 to 6 month recovery plan. And we've seen nothing yet. So that means we must take action to do something for ourselves. If we do not, we are continuing to set ourselves up for additional sources of pain. I will not allow any of you to do that. Many of you on this call are not connected to me directly, but it's important for you to recognize that it's decision-making time. It's decision-making time. You have to decide what's best for you and your household. And if waiting and doing nothing is where you are, I respect that. I had to make a decision to decide to move. What does it say? Take action, movement. I had to make movement so that I could find something that could at least cushion the blow. Now, Eric said, I'm optimistic. Eric said he's optimistic. I'm optimistic too, but I'm a realist as well. Maya Angelou said it best. I repeated this the last time I was here. When they show you who they are, you must believe them. We're all struggling with the exact same thing. We don't want to believe because it was so good. We're forced in a position where we have to ask ourselves the question on the deep inside of our bodies, what do we do? Make the decision. And whatever that is, I applaud you. I made a decision to commit and staying until they pay these people one times reward, but I made another decision. And that was I had to move on so that I could find something that could better cushion the blow for people who are struggling and dying out here. That was the most important thing. And so for those who are here tonight for an answer for hyper, we can't give you an answer for hyper. But what we can give you is opportunity. The whole purpose of the Satoshi Show is to inform, enlighten, and put people in position to where they're not struggling on any platform, period. That's all they've ever done. They've informed and enlightened. And guess what? We've reaped the benefit of their information. We've reaped the benefit of their research. We've reaped that benefit. They're still doing the same thing. They're informing and they're enlightening, but we're now looking to get folks in the mindset and understanding that there's just not one way to do it. It can't be. One way just doesn't work. And that doesn't mean you're doing 1,000 things. It just means your mind is open to exploring past where you are, to be sure that you can be put in the right situation at the right time to receive the right blessing that's for you, wherever it comes from. I just want everybody to have open minds now. Start thinking more outside of the box. That's why we're here tonight. And, you know, it's 9:49. We've been here for a little bit. And Troy started with questions, answering. And then Eric came on and David came on. But I think most importantly, you all want an answer to what to do now. What are we supposed to do? Put aside the fact that, because the question of how am I going to get my money out, let's not process that, because that's not a question that any of us can answer. But the bigger question is, what do we do now? And how are we better able not to ever have this happen to us again? That's what that's what this informational call is for tonight, is to position us that never ever happens to us again. Am I right, David?
Sorry, I had myself on mute. Yes, you're right. Before we get into the questions and answers, we got like probably 1,000 hands up.
Gosh.
I you know, I don't know if you are done, Marcus, but I know that we don't have answers or so, but I do want to show some questions and answers to some of these things that have been asked time and time again.
Okay,
just so that everyone, it might answer some questions for some of the hands that are up now. So Troy, Marcus, are you, did you need?
yeah, I'm gonna come back on. Let's get some of these
Okay.
questions.
Okay, great.
Hey, real quick, I got somebody text me and I kind of haven't answered to it, but members are asking, can they stay in Hyperverse and also buy an NFT and link it to Hypernation and participate in both opportunities? How would you guys answer that?
Well, let's go through the, I wanted to go through the meeting notes of Keith and corporate team with MK, Eddie, and Agnes that was done on July 8th. I mean, yeah, Friday, July 8th. And then I
Okay.
wanted to share the latest message that came over this morning from Agnes.
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen and do that, David. This is a perfect time for that.
Troy, it's been a long time since I shared my screen. How do I do that again?
You're doing it. Green screen share button.
Oh, if anybody knows, you do, David. Stop.
Okay, so this is the meeting notes, and you guys can chime in at any time, okay? Don't just let me hang on myself. There was a question, how does the rewards and withdrawals work in Hypernation? Rewards will still be distributed in HU, which is hyper units. Currently, the HU rewards can be converted into MOF token for withdrawals. However, due to current market conditions, the price of MOF is unstable. So corporate, I guess, are internally deciding if to push a new token for withdrawals. This is yet to be finalized. However, we do have a token price projection mechanism in which we have a certain amount of tokens in our pool, which will maintain the price of MOF. Guys, when they talk about a new coin that they're going to throw out and stuff, just look at what happened with HVT. So, you know, be prepared. They're saying that they're doing something with the MOF. Most likely they have total control of the MOF. I think that the MOF has been going down, down, down. And then I think it was yesterday or the day before, I saw that the MOF went up 100%. I just want to caution everyone about the coins that they're coming up with. Some of you guys may have, shared with me that, they're doing whatever they can with the coins and all that. Just remember that they're the ones that hold the majority of all the coins. Give you an example, when they put out the HVT, that wasn't on any exchange. Yes, they did have a smart contract on it, but it started tripling, little by little. And if you can get your HVT out of Hyperverse, then you have to wait a little bit longer for the HVT to trickle down. But who controls that whole HVT? They do. So just be careful about that. Did you guys want to add anything else to this?
You're good. You're good,
Okay.
Dave.
The next question, my withdrawal is still pending after months have passed and the value of my MOF withdrawal has dropped considerably. What do I do about this? The answer is, as it is a bear market and the token value is dropping, you have two options. One, to cancel the withdrawal and have the MOF tokens returned to you, not the original HU value. What that means is that if you converted your HU at that time, let's say 1,000 HUs, and the price of MOF was at, let's say it was 50 cents. Now that it's dropped down to pennies, you are going to get the pennies, not the 50 cents. Okay.
It's fractions of a penny, thousandths of a penny.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, they can do the math and you'll see, basically what they're saying is whatever you've lost, nothing they can do about that. Okay. And number two, wait a bit longer and either you can migrate them to Hypernation, which is in the asset migration, or convert them to a new token to cash out. Does anybody want to add anything to that?
You got it.
Okay. The next question is, why are withdrawals not possible in Who? And I think Troy may have an answer to this or a opinion to this, but it says we have no relationships with Who. One of our board members used to be with Who, but he is no longer there and we have no influence. The company is considering moving forward with Swap and Pancake Swap. We want our members to be better informed about how to cash out. I am not in a position to comment on the Who exchange. So what do they mean by we want our members to better be informed about how to cash out? Did they know that the Who is going to come down? Did they know that the person who used to be on the board with them has left the company? Why did they not share that with us? I mean, how can you make a comment? We want our members to be better informed about how to cash out.
Well, I think, David, the important point about this question is it's the relationship. It's clearly stating that there was no relationship. So we thought that the Who was a part of the Hyperverse ecosystem. Clearly, that's not the case. But again, that's just another piece of information that now we're all seeing right in front of us. That's all. We're just seeing it clearly. You know, there's an old song that says, I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. The rain's gone.
Well, one other thing that does is it tells me possibly that Ryan Zhu, because Ryan Zhu had the ownership of that Who exchange, it tells me that he's not part of the new ownership of the nation.
That's right.
So that's one thing. And one other thing, that there's some people doing a lot more work on this than me watching the Tron scan, but it appears that Ryan Zhu's moved 1 point, Ryan Zhu or somebody, we can't use his name, but somebody that controls one of the accounts associated with the Hyperverse platforms moved out about $1.5 billion worth of coins. So there's a lot of things going on. Now, if that was Ryan, it's possible that, you know, he's on the board of directors of several publicly traded companies. A couple of them are traded on a US stock exchange. So he actually is living in Los Angeles right now. And so he's not going to want any trouble in that position. So, you know, it's a possibility. And again, this is a leap. You know, I'm making a mental leap. It may have nothing to do. I maybe should just keep my mouth shut, but possibly he's got those coins so that, you know, those people that stay with Hyperverse, you know, he'll be able to pay off that obligation. So because it's pretty clear here by this question that nobody has any relationship with Who. Well, at the time, you know, our former founder of Hyperverse or Hyper Capital before Hyperverse did have a relationship with Who and did have a lot of stock in it, a majority stockholder of it. So that's telling me that he's no longer with Hypernation, that it's a whole new ownership, because they're saying they got no relationship with Who. So that means all the assets that were behind Hyperverse are no longer behind Hypernation. And they've told us they've got, you know, a whole new set of investors. Well, you know, investors that I don't know and I don't know anything about, I'm not moving to Hypernation. That's what that question and answer tells me. You know, people have the best, I believe, in my opinion, people have the best shot at getting money out of this thing or getting their membership back, or possibly a little more than their membership, because I believe they're obligated to 3 times their membership. That was the original contract. I think your best shot is to stick with Hyperverse. Don't buy that $100 NFT or 100 HU NFT, and don't do rebuys. You know, let it stock up and then do a withdrawal, and possibly that may be where that 1.5 billion, little more now, went to. to cover those kind of liabilities. Again, it could just be, that someone else has that control of that wallet. I don't know. I don't have any way of absolutely proving that that Ryan Sue is the owner of that wallet address. So go ahead, David. Sorry about that. I digress.
Okay, Troy. The next question is, are the owners and the people behind this company the same people that were behind the company over the last couple of years? The answer is yes, it is the same group of people. Only Jaden Wee has left. We can't prove it yet because Hypernation, when we are on the calls with Betty Boo, Agnes, all of the support
Bro,
team,
bunch of
bro, everybody, they look like avatars. Although we share our faces, they share us an avatar. And then when you guys saw the launch video, it sounded like somebody was from the company, but behind an avatar. So again, why would you not share yourself if you want to move forward? Okay, my next question, the next question here is, what is the hyperverse recovery plan? So the answer is this. The hyperverse recovery plan started in early June and would take a minimum of 2 months up to a maximum of 6 months. So we have June to December. Okay, that would be the 6 months. Phase 1, the focus is on 2 groups of members: those who have never made any successful withdrawals previously but currently have a withdrawal stuck in pending. Then the second group are those members who have not yet received their initial funds. Those 2 groups are our initial priority in the first 2 months. Folks, June, July. Okay, wait, you know what? They still have 10 more days or 11 more days to the end of July. I can tell you that I have tons of folks who have been rebuying, and now, and they only have one account, so they don't fall in the category of misuse or misuse of or abuse. Okay, they've done their first withdrawals, and it's pending, and it's been pending for 2-3 weeks now. I've asked everybody to stop the rebuys because, if they want to do a withdrawal, stop the rebuys for a while, let it build up, like what Troy said, and then take out a chunk. And they're all pending. So, to me, are they really focusing on that? Because we still have that situation. I've been in IT for a long time. And one of the things that you use is a SQL database, which is the strongest database that you can use on anything. If you really wanted to know, and because they mentioned that we're going to color code some people so that we can put them in certain groups and all that. Well, I can run a query on a SQL database and know that you have not made a withdrawal yet, and put you in that category so that we can put you there and say, when you make a withdrawal, you won't have a problem. Why did they not have done that? I don't know. Do you guys want to add anything else to that?
The 2 months is up and we still haven't seen anyone who hadn't withdrawn receive their rewards yet. That's or yeah, we can call it rewards. Yeah, so we're still waiting and the 2 months is up. Someone said, well, they didn't say 2 months. They said 2 to 6 months. So they're working on 6 months, not 2. It just goes back and forth. So,
but this clearly, Marcus, I'm sorry, this clearly says 2 months. These 2 groups are our initial priority in the first 2 months.
It does, but it does say 2 months up to a maximum of 6. So they've given themselves some leverage here, not to produce in 2 months, because they still have those 6 remaining. And that's what's happened, because And not enough of the one-timers have received anything yet. We all know that because the one-timers are still knocking on the door, trying to figure out what to do with their withdrawals. All right, let's take the next one.
Okay, so the next one says the sale of Hypernation boxes does not have a big impact on cash flow, but helps us to define the leaders who buy purple or platinum boxes. And the members who want to buy yellow boxes to participate in Hypernation and maybe upgrade to purple or platinum boxes later. The first stage of wealth negotiation will be the purple or platinum boxes, then the yellow boxes, and finally the members who have stayed in the hyperverse in Hypernation. In Hyperverse, in Hypernation, there will be a stage compression. The yellow box members can sponsor later. The migration into Hypernation will speed up the process of withdrawals, returning back to normal for those members.
Let me comment on that, David.
Please.
We just want this first sentence. It says the sale of the Hypernation boxes does not have a big impact on cash flow. I want you guys to understand they were doing 200, $100,000 node positions, 200. That's 20 million bucks. 20 million. They did not put a number on the 10,000. I'm just giving you some perspective. The sale of the box does not have a big impact on cash flow. So can you please tell me what you're going to do with that 20 million? I mean, if it doesn't affect, where's it going? You pay for a position to get an empty box. Please tell me where that 20 million is going. And again, these are their answers, guys. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. Where's that 20 million going? Okay, just wanted to point that out.
And just a
Plus,
reminder.
plus you got 500,000 members, or at least that's the number they gave us a year ago. I take that times $100. You know,
You have to do 500. You have to do 500, Troy, because the 100 binds, then the additional 400 for the new membership into the nation. So it's 500 per member.
right?
Not just
Right.
100.
500 times 500,000 equals, that's 0.00000. That's 250 million.
That's right.
Just off those boxes, 250 million on the
That's right.
handy calculator. There you can see it.
But it does not impact cash flow, guys. That's, understand, that's new USDT tether.
I
It's
call
not big.
BS. I call BS on that one.
Yeah, that's strong. All right.
I don't know if you guys were on our last show, but there was one person that was poking at us. But just so you guys understand, Troy won 100,000 NFT, and today has not cashed it or received it or want to receive it at this point. So just wanted to remind everyone that, you know, we're sticking to what we are seeing here, that it's not 100% clear. And it's like what Marcus says, you know, we're not going to put our blinders on just across the street. Next question, how much time do members have to migrate to Hypernation? The current plan is mid-July. Keith has requested for an extension as the turnaround time is short. I think they didn't get enough purple and platinum boxes, and so they're going to keep extending it until they reach whatever goal it is in their mind. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that, but what will the rewards be in Hypernation? The new daily rate in Hypernation will be 0.7%. I had
Wait to see. I don't know.
I had to pause on that for a second because I need to choose my words correct, intelligently. We went from hyper capital to Hyperfund. There were some hiccups, but they went through, they fixed it all. Never had a problem with withdrawals at that time. We could live with that. We can live with the hiccup. We can live with some of the software issues and things like that, because that's part of the world. Okay. I mean, I've been in IT for a long time. You never launch something that is 100% perfect. Okay. But they fixed it. But the one thing that we never had problem with at that time was withdrawals, right? Then we went to Hyper Capital, Hyper Fund, Hyperverse, right? When during the time that Hyperverse was going, I think at that time they kind of figured out that maybe they were having problems, even liquidity and so forth. But then they came up with Hyperverse 2.0, and they were hoping that maybe that would. And if you guys really take a look at it, instead of us receiving 0.5%, we were receiving 0.3, and then they stretched it out from 3x to 4x. I don't think there was a whole lot of thought to it, except for maybe to extend it a little bit longer, pay out people a little bit less for the time being to maybe recoup or something. I don't know what that is, but the minute that you start, and we made suggestions, a lot of suggestions, but I don't think any of it that got heard. But if they wanted to move everyone to the Hypernation, what they could have done was put a cap on the ones that were receiving a lot of amounts on a daily basis. Put a cap on those withdrawals, and we work it out so that everyone still gets paid, and we would have been fine with that. Put a cap on all those higher earning people, and but at least keep the community going. The minute you stop a withdrawal or people having withdrawal problems, and that's on any program, you that's where the faith starts to diminish and the trust starts to diminish. And so if they would have done it what we suggested, everybody, I can almost guarantee you, everybody would have jumped to the Hypernation. But when I read this, that the new daily rate is 0.7%, oh my God, it didn't work with 0.5. It didn't work with 0.3. How the heck are you going to make it work with 0.7%? And I'll leave it at that. The next one is, what measures do the company have in place to prevent future abuse of the system in Hypernation? We have systems in place to prevent any abuse. Every account is tagged to an NFT address, and our system have the capability to scan the blockchain for users with multiple accounts and NFT activity. Our system will flag those accounts and issue warnings or even suspend those accounts. I would have to say this, that I give them maybe 50% of the multiple account issues, because I don't know, maybe there's a little bit something a little bit deeper than that. But if you guys really think about it, you made a plan, a comp plan, and I'm sure that you guys have guys who are geniuses in working the numbers and all that. If you had this many people, like let's say even I had, I don't know, 1,000 accounts, okay, which I don't, but let's say I had 1,000 accounts and I was manipulating the system. Well, each of those accounts, I had to put new money in order to have those accounts, right? So what if you think about it, that they were all each individual accounts? Well, if they're saying that that's an abuse, then their system, their comp plan was already flawed. So I'll just leave it at that. Let's see here. What is the future of the Hyperverse platform and HVT token? HVT will still be limited to the smart contract in Hyperverse and subsequently more on GameFi. We will eventually downscale Hyperverse as we are still removing members who have abused the system, but both platforms will continue to run along the side. We will eventually disable the rebuy function as we downsize or downscale Hyperverse. We do recommend acquiring a yellow box as this will allow you to migrate all your assets to Hypernation. Well, I don't know if you guys heard many times with this yellow box. People had so many questions about these yellow boxes. In the very beginning, they said the yellow box is your entrance fee to the Hypernation. It doesn't do you anything. You can't recruit on it. You don't get paid on it. Nothing happens except for just entrance fee. Okay. You can't migrate. You can't move your assets. No nothing. Here, because we kept saying that's unfair, that's unfair, that's unfair. Now you have a little blurb that says we do recommend acquiring a yellow box as this will allow you to migrate all of your assets to Hypernation. I don't know what else to say to you guys about that, but like I said in the beginning, if we stand together as a family in numbers, I think that we will get to where we want to get to with Hyperverse and Hypernation.
Yeah, and I call BS on that statement there. I think they're making it up to get people over there. And the reason I say that is because they've came right out, even in the back office, and said the purple box will get you, what was it, 15
10
to
to 15,
30%,
10 to 15,
10 to 15,
and then 15 to 20.
15 to 20 on the platinum box. And they said nothing with the yellow box, you know, so.
Here it is. So I just want to speed you up just a little bit, David. Let's just go down where it says, will I lose my pending rewards if I migrate? And it clearly says, and I want you to read the verbiage so that everyone can grasp this. Platinum, purple, and yellow box holders can migrate all their assets, pending, offset, certified, DeFi, and mining to Hypernation. So I'm going to go back to this word all. Look at that. So what happens is when I'm selling, I just sold you on all of them are coming. I didn't say what you were getting for it. I just told you all. So your brain process, I can bring my assets. Let me buy that box. So let's continue on. It says, the Hypernate, from the start, they can be used to purchase membership packages, either up to 20% of them with a purple box or 30% with a platinum box. Yellow box members to be considered, to be announced. That's their definition. So technically, what do you think that yellow box is going to get you? 1 to 5%? Hey, what do you think it's going to get you? Very little, next to nothing. But again, it just sounds good because they said all. And we're under that impression. Well, if it's all, then it's all coming. And you go, and then you open up the box and see that you don't have anything in it. It's empty. It's not going to be a good, that's not going to be a good yellow look. But again, this is their information that we're just reading. So the reason why they stopped allowing you to use the HU was because they needed new USDT volume. That's the reason why. The reason why we were unable to use our certified is because they needed new USDT volume. The question always will remain, for what? If the node is the position, the node he paid for his position. What's the money used for? Because technically that's free money. I bought the position, right? I bought the position so that I could be a node. It's free money. What are you doing with it? Yeah, I know it's a lot to process, but again, we're just giving you information so that you can kind of see this trail of what's happening so that you can be aware, so that if you make the decision to stay or to go, purely on what's happening. That's all. All right, go ahead, Dave.
No problem. Thank you. Can multiple accounts be combined in Hyperverse, or what is your plan? If you have more than 10 accounts, okay, they will be locked. There will be no consideration. You will have to prove that the accounts are for family or friends, or why you opened the accounts. I'm not going to even comment on that because, like I mentioned before, if the plan was not flawed, I just feel that that multiple accounts thing could be um, an excuse, and I'll just leave it at that. Uh, how is the company identifying those individuals who have not withdrawn yet and who have just been rebuying passive members? There will be a scoring system. Okay, so we're going back. It wasn't a coding, like I mentioned, a color coding. It's a scoring system for those who have not withdrawn. The members who are in the green will be prioritized for withdrawals. However, we strongly recommend all members to acquire at least a yellow box as they will be entitled to asset migration into hibernation, and we speed up the recovery for withdrawals. That's a loaded one.
It is.
Why
Yeah,
would
yeah,
you?
but it's true, David. It's true because if everybody's buying yellow boxes, that's 250 million, then they'll have money to pay out some of those people that came over. Say they've got no money because they had to have new USDT. Why
That's
would you
right.
have to have new USDT? Why couldn't we use our certified rewards? See, the system's empty, the wallets are empty. You can check the wallets and see they're empty. And now, when you migrate your assets over, it'll speed up your withdrawals because you're buying these boxes so they'll have money to pay you back.
That's right.
To me, it's starting to look like a Ponzi.
Troy,
It feels like it, Troy. And you know, and it's funny. We've stayed away from that word. We
Yeah.
hated that word, but it feels like it because that's what we're not delivering this. It's their information that's delivering this to us.
Yeah.
And again, we're only reading what you've given us. It's what it feels like. So we just have to be careful and mindful. So
yeah.
go ahead, Dave. You only got a couple more left.
Yeah, I just have a couple more. And if you go through all of this, I can just tell you at the end, it's all conflicted because they don't really know what the plan is. Okay, can you buy a platinum, purple, yellow box with HU? For the time being, we are only accepting USDT for all boxes, so new money, okay? When will we have a new presentation rewards plan for Hypernation? This will be shared week commencing July 11th, before the deadline to acquire your yellow box. Gosh, we've been asking for that months ago. We've been asking for that a long time ago so that we know whether we should share it with the group, with our team members and the family to move forward to Hypernation or not. They keep pushing that off over and over again, and they keep promising, well, look, it's even documented here that's July 11th. What is today's date, folks? July 20th.
Some of these answers have changed. We know that.
And that's why I said at the very beginning, we want to share with you guys what's going on and whatever, but it changes from week to week. So it's like a moving target. It's hard for us, but we want to share what is written here. How can we trust Hyperverse, Hypernation to deliver their plan? Majority of crypto companies are having liquidity issues or have declared bankruptcy. Those companies do not have a recovery plan during the bear market. We are still here to support the community and to do right by them. We have been around for over 2 years and set our community as as it is our responsibility. We are not running away. You know what? I have to give that to them. They're still here, although they may not have all the plans and everything, but they're still here trying to negotiate or trying to come up with something.
That's
Do you
why I
guys all?
say, I hope they deliver on the promise. That's all we can hope for, guys.
That's all we can hope for in
That's
that
right.
in that question and answer. Um, what are the distinct benefits of acquiring a platinum or purple box? Uh, Purple box is 10,000 USDT. Migrate 10 levels of your downline to Hypernation. Assign a dedicated community manager. You're assigned a dedicated community manager. Your own unique community website to expand your network. Marketing materials provided to educate your community. Online classes to help present certain topics. And what do you get for 100,000? In addition to the above benefits, migrate your entire network to Hypernation. Invitation to sponsor conferences and events, dedicated VIP manager.
Gotcha. I don't know if you guys know, Tammy Jackson announced tonight on her meeting that they're going to be using the HDAO in Hypernation. The HDAO. I had to just get that out. So they're going to go back to the HDAO. It's interesting.
I had an argument with somebody and they said to me that, hey, I'm going to move to the Hypernation. And I said, great. Why? And they said, well, because of the HDAO. I mean, it's a great platform. It's a great thing. And it's a smart contract. So we can look at the liquidity on it and we can find out what's going on all the time. But what you have to realize is this, just look at the HVT. It's a smart contract, but when somebody creates like the HDAO, I'm sure that the company holds almost 50% of those coins, right? So let's say that you have 5 billion coins like HVT. I'm sure that the company held, 50% of that, 2.5 billion of those coins. So the other 2.5 billion is going out there and it's, helping raise the prices and all of that because there'd be some buying and selling and giving liquidity, right? What happens when they dump a quarter of their coins? Look at what happened with HVT. So even though the HDAO is maybe a good thing and all that, but you can talk about liquidity all you want, but who controls that liquidity is what you have to be concerned about. That's all I'm going to share on that. What is the future vision for Hypernation? We don't just want to be a membership and NFT platform. We want to build and develop another ecosystem, which is more towards the DAO ecosystem, which will enable users to have their own NFT community and leaders can decide the rules of their community and use the voting system to drive the community forward. That's you guys have to make the decision of what you want to do moving forward. But for us, I think I can speak for all of us here on the panel and Troy and myself. We loved Hyperfund. We loved Hyper Capital. We loved what it did for a lot of people. It was a great plan. They had things going. Yes, maybe the liquidity problem with the crypto winter and all this and the multiple account system, maybe have that may have some things to do with it. But we're not going to cross that street with blindfolds. And we've been asking them for a clear plan. 1 week they're saying yellow boxes have nothing. Next week they're saying, oh, yellow boxes, now you can move all your assets and you can now also use a percentage of that to buy a purple box or a platinum box, which they said in the very beginning that you can't do. It's the pressure that we're putting onto them, the questions over and over again, and them seeing that the slowness of moving towards their goal of us buying a purple box or a platinum box and all that. It's kind of helping to reshape their mindset and
Right.
change week by week. It's kind of like we're negotiating with them in the background.
That's right.
If you guys can kind of see that, because all of this has evolved from a strict buy a platinum box, buy a purple box, and you get into the Hypernation, buy a yellow ticket, and that'll just be in a ticket alone, to the tune where, hey, maybe you can use some of your assets to move over with the yellow ticket now. In the beginning, it wasn't. So when we talk about we're stronger in numbers, we want to be, to the point where is, what is the plan? Put it in writing. There was a note that came and said that we all compiled all of this because we all had different meetings, the nodes and all that. And there was a big compilation of all the questions and answers and everything. And then at the end, one of the support managers said, that's great that you guys are doing this, but this is not from corporate. And we're going, what does that mean? Well, because it's not signed, sealed, and delivered yet. So until we know what that is, we're not going to go and buy that car blindly. There's no more negotiations after you buy that car. I mean, after you paid for that car and haven't even seen it yet. I'm going to go ahead and read to you. I'm sorry, I should have got some water earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and stop my share and share with you this last thing that came from let's see here if I can find it here. Can you see this July 20th?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Make it a little bit bigger, maybe.
Wait, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna have to put it on Word or something in order to make it bigger.
Well, don't worry about it. Just read it.
Okay. Well, actually, I can make it a little bit bigger, Troy. So let me do
Okay.
this. Okay, I'm gonna stop the share and reshare it with this. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. A document. There we go. Can you see this?
Yeah,
Well, it looks good, David.
Okay, July 20th. Okay, dear Pro Node and Node leaders, please find the latest update in the following for your kind per usual. Okay, asset migration. The community migration process will take place after the end of the NHFT box sale, followed by asset migration and event launch with the sale of membership packages. Earlier, they said that if you buy a yellow box and you move over, your asset will be there, and we can get you a purple box or whatever at 20% or whatever that is. Well, they're saying here that it'll be afterwards. So how can they do that simultaneously? All HN Hypernation members will be given an option to convert all types of assets from HV to HN, Hyperverse to Hypernation, which can be used to purchase membership packages. The usable amount varies, depends on the box type. So it depends on what box you buy. You'll get a certain amount, I guess, to be able to purchase the membership packages. There will no longer be any negotiation process, as this is given as an option to everyone, including yellow box. Marcus, we had something that we said about that. Do you remember?
That
There's no more negotiation process, which they said that you were gonna have a one-on-one negotiation after you
Mhm.
bought, you know, your boxes, right?
Yeah.
Um,
No, well, there's no negotiation. It's all been, it's already been negotiated inside the box for you. They're giving it to you, negotiated without you.
okay, and we don't even know what that is yet, 100%.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, please note that the timeline and asset migration plan are subject to change until they are finalized. Further questions from this will not be answered until we receive more information. We hereby seek your understanding and patience with the changes from time to time until everything is finalized, as the corporation is trying its best to work on a plan that would be better and happier for all box holders, be it platinum, purple, or yellow. So this is the last thing that they said. So with all the pressures and everything, I think that they're going back to the drawing board and trying to work on a fairer thing than what they did, rolling out to us from the very beginning by pushing us into buying a purple box or a platinum box or so. The more that the people buy the purple box and the platinum box, the less that we're going to have as a community and a family and a team to negotiate before we move to Hypernation. That's just
absolutely.
my thought, my feelings, and they are running Hyperverse and Hypernation. I know there was another, I thought it was in this document, but it did say that they are downsizing, and I mean downscaling Hyperverse, and you can still stay there. When they can get the liquidity issues back, I guess they'll start paying out at least we know that they're working on the 1x. Maybe we'll get 2x, 3x. For us guys here that are on this call here, Troy, Marcus, Eric, and myself, I don't think we're going to get paid anymore, but that's fine. We're still here for you. We're still here to try and help negotiate, decipher the information and give it to you as straight as we can. But what we're doing right now is, first off, we're not moving to the hibernation until we have a clear picture of what that is. You can do whatever you want to do, but we shared everything that we could to you. Number two, we're not doing any more rebuys on Hyperverse. Everything is going into our rewards bucket. We're not exchanging those HUs for HVT or MOF or anything until we know what that third platform is that they were talking about, that we can move those HUs over to get a withdrawal. There's still a lot of stuff that is uncertain, and I don't know why a lot of people feel like they're gonna the miss out because they don't jump to it. Let me bring you back to Hyperverse 1.0 and Hyperverse 2.0. You had no choice. You had to move, right? And what did that do? I won't answer that. So right now, you have a choice, Hyperverse or Hypernation.
Well said. Well said, Dave. That is it. I mean, we've been here for almost 2 hours. I think we have given the best update we could with everything, but it's important for us to walk away from here with something of value. And that value is, no matter how you cut it, we have to find something that can cushion the blow that we're presently feeling. I think we could all agree with that. And we have found something to assist in that process. We're going to share that tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock. But it's not going to be, the only thing that comes down the pike from us. And I'm going to put myself, if you guys don't mind, part of the Satoshi family from us. We're working together, but there are going to be several things that come down the pipe. But here, right now, in this moment, you stayed on this long because no matter how you cut it, you want an option. That's what you want. You want an option. What do we do? What are we going to do? And what did David say? In numbers, we're more powerful together than we are apart. So if we manage that to a point, we can get back on our feet really quickly. That is an absolute truth. If we stay down, we're going to be down. But if we align ourselves and get up, we're going to rise higher than we ever were before. And tomorrow night, we're going to get in deep detail on that, sharing you guys with something that I believe can do just that. I know that I had one person say, well, are you guys trying to bait us, bring us to a call, and then take us to something? No, we're not trying to bait you at all. But one thing's for sure is if you don't have another option rolling right now in this economy, you're going to need one. So we're just going to provide you with an option. And tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock, I'm confident that we won't be as long as we were tonight. But at 9 o'clock, we're going to give you that option. And then we're going to keep it in your face so that we will constantly provide you with multiple options. Why? Because that's what the Satoshi team was all about, was about providing viable options for multiple streams of income so that we never find ourselves in a pickle. And why are we in that pickle? Because we had a one team show with no option. Now, some of us had some other options, but I'm talking as a whole. The majority of people are hurting. They don't say, Troy, I'm good. I got this over here cooking. As soon as they get that back up and ready, I'm ready to rumble. What they say is, Troy, I'm dying. What do I do now? David, I'm hurting. What do I do now? And they say that because they didn't have anything else working. I want you to imagine this for just 1 second. If you had, I'm just giving this as an option. If you had two things going at the same time, two things working simultaneously, one over here, and one go down, what's your security blanket? Your security blanket is you got something over here working. So maybe I'll have to put a little bit more time over here than I had before instead of splitting that energy, but at least I had something working. If you only had this one over here and it goes down, what happens? You're all out of options. And that's not a good feeling. And so what we've learned in this last 3 years is we cannot go through this platform and not give you multiple options for yourself. You don't have to choose them, but you need to know when you come to the Satoshi show, you're going to get some options because that's what we represent. We represent wealth. We represent giving people an opportunity to win. That's what the Satoshi show was all about. That's what I saw. That's why I've aligned with it, because I saw these guys care about the people. You can say whatever you want about them, but one thing they do is they bring you the information every single time. And so aligning with that puts you in the best position to win in these times. This is a digital arena, and forget hyper for a second. Going down, if it does or it doesn't, crypto's not going anywhere. Don't you want to be connected with someone who can guide that ship to the next thing? I'd say yes. So tomorrow evening, we're going to come back, same time, same channel, 9 o'clock. We're going to see what this is. We're going to review it. You'll do your homework, and then you'll get with the person that invited you. You'll get with the person that you're connected with. And if not, the Satoshi team is where you're going to go.
Actually, Marcus, it's a different webinar with a different registration.
Oh man, it's not okay.
We don't like to mix things. We like to keep hyperverse. So when we send out a hyperverse email, people are going to hear hyperverse. When we send out, David and I do lots of things, and we always have. We always have 5 or 10 things going that are passive.
I love it.
And so there's this other program. I'm just going to type it up and put it in there. If someone wants to get on there and register it, I know you'll be on there. Eric will be on there. You know, a lot of nodes and super nodes are already doing this, and that's how we found out about it. And you know, 4-year-old thing. So I'm just gonna put in that you got to register for tomorrow night's deal, and it's different. It's the satoshishow.com/rewards. So it's a whole
Beautiful.
And folks, you know, we've always had the multiple streams of past rewards. That's why we're not as you know, if you had that, like what Marcus is saying, it would lessen your blow in your life.
That's right.
But I just want everyone to still understand from all of us, we're not leaving Hyperverse. We're not where we want to see what is the next plan for it. We want to see, you know, if they turn around and do what they say, at least take care of the 1X people right now,
That's right.
and they can turn that around, then there's hope, right? And when there's hope, then we can come back and go, okay, let's you know, let's figure out what we're going to do next
That's
with
right.
Hyperverse or Hypernation. But at this point, it's too many if. And again, we're not going to cross that street with a blindfold. But we still need to pay our rent, grocery bills, take care of our kids, all that stuff, right? So, anyways, we're not leaving. But like I said, if we stay as a family, we're stronger in numbers.
Absolutely.
Do you guys want to start opening this up now? Because
Yeah.
we're already almost 2 hours, and I think it's time for us to hear the voice of the folks on the
Absolutely.
on the show. Troy?
Okay, I'll just go with the top one and click allow to talk. Rankin Amari. Go ahead, Rankin, unmute yourself.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear, Rankin.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. My question is based off the multiple accounts. I created accounts for myself, for my family, and it was guided by my upline, and kind of my upline is available but not available at the same time. I don't know if you guys can see me either, but anyway, and I'm just trying to see if you guys had any insight on where that's going, or how to solve that issue, or how to prove that the income or the investment was made through and for family members.
So do you have different emails on each one of these accounts?
I switched them, but I didn't before. No.
Right.
But I switched
yeah.
them now.
Okay. So how many accounts do you have?
14.
Okay. And you have 14 different emails on those accounts. What they would do is they would have to be KYC. They would either ask if it's a family member that they just provide their, like the same thing we had to do when we went over to the platform. Everybody had to go through the KYC. They didn't do everybody, but for you, you would just have to get each account KYC. That makes sense?
Oh, yeah, it does. Can I ask a quick follow-up? So I personally have 5, so it's not 14 different. Is that, do you feel like that's an issue, or?
So they said, again, MK said 5 and under wasn't a problem. Brenda had someone who had 4 accounts. I think was it 100,000 each or so, or 10,000 each, something like, I can't remember, but that they said that was okay. It was the 10 and up that were the issue, you know. But again, all of that stuff I think can be worked out. This wasn't malicious intent to hurt the system at all. That's not what any of us were doing. So, you know, I think that there's room to be worked with in that scenario. And again, as long as you have, you know, a few folks to help get those accounts KYC, I think you'll be fine.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Great
that makes me feel a lot better. Thank you. That's all I have.
The next one is Beverly Paul.
That was the first one.
What happened?
That was funny. Hello?
Beverly,
Sorry,
go
you
ahead,
guys-
unmute yourself.
Troy, can you give me control? I can't I can't do anything.
Okay, hold on here. Let me give
Make-
you control, David. More.
Make me co-host or something.
Okay, you are a co-host, David. I'm gonna make Eric a co-host too.
Okay.
Yes. And Marcus, I should have had this done. There we go. Everyone's a co-host. Everyone can do everything.
Beverly, you're still on mute. If you unmute your microphone, you can talk. Troy, we'll probably have to move to Miller.
Okay. Allowed to talk. Miller Williams, go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, we're gonna go on to Donna Smith. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Troy, do they have the ability to unmute themselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I just was making sure.
I
I've never
even
seen-
click on the ask to unmute.
I've never seen this many people struggle to unmute.
Okay. Philip. Philip Simmons, go
There we
ahead.
go. Good, good. Thank you very much. Also, you said, can you hear me okay?
Loud
sir.
and clear.
Okay. I had a couple questions. One was, and you've really answered most of the questions, to be honest with you. You did a great job. I think the last person, and David, I think the one that talked about, we are regarding what we have, is where we are. And we have to face up to the fact that, what we're seeing is real and not, living in unrealistic expectations. So, and he gave me an idea what to do now, and that is no rebuys and not to be trying to take withdrawals out. So I'm waiting on a response to the form I submitted because I was going to reverse the opening of my yellow box so that I could buy a purple box. But I have no one above me with a purple box that could assist me with code or whatever. But after I've heard this, I'm not worried about it. I've checked on it already, and I was going to ask you what you suggest. So I guess my question is, like, right now, you also said submit that form for tomorrow because I'm open to other passive ways. I don't know who necessarily referred me. I'm in a group, so I could use the name of the person in that group. But on that form, I don't know what to put other than her name on the form that you have. So is that,
Well, here's the thing. We want to try and keep the integrity of the community and everything else. That's why we put that refer by form. So if that person is not on the call tonight, maybe you can reach out to that person as a respect and just say, hey, I'm looking at something else. Would you be interested in looking at it because you brought me into Hyperverse? And this way it keeps the integrity of the hierarchy.
okay.
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 If
I'll do.
yeah, if at that point he or she says no, then it's up to you.
Okay. I'm sure they'll be okay with that. But
Hey, Troy. Oh, go ahead. Did he finish?
And just so you know, I'm one of those people that, I don't have I've been a passive investor. I probably have close to 2 million rewards sitting there. And I've got 50,000 probably sitting in my
What?
rewards. I've got 2 million in pending. I've got probably about another 50,000 in who. And so that's where I am, and I'm having to go with the flow.
Well, like we always shared in the beginning in our introduction, we're always about passive rewards for people. When you get into an opportunity that we shared, like Hyper and all that, you took a look that there was a passive side. You didn't have to recruit. You didn't have to share with the soul. And so we're always looking at passive reward type of deals.
Perfect. Yeah, that's good. Well,
Yeah,
I
and this
appreciate
this deal tomorrow is just one out of many things, but a lot of people are doing it from the hyper community, so we thought we better get it out there because there's so many people doing it. And you know, a few people will do it, a few people won't. You know, you got to look at stuff, and it may not be for you, or it may be for you, but you won't know if you don't look. And so that's why we're throwing it out there. If somebody's interested in it, they want to know what a lot of other people are doing. There it is. Yeah, it's not, you know, anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow night. This is about hyperverse. So let's move on to Judy Gaynor. Judy, unmute yourself, please.
Hey, Troy, I got a message. Some people are having a challenge unmuting. So are you sure? I mean, you're good on your end?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Rankin and Philip, they were able to unmute. Now, if you called in on a phone, you might have a little bit more trouble than if you're doing it on a deal.
I was on the phone.
Okay.
I'm on the phone.
Well, thanks,
No
Philip.
problem.
Thanks for telling us that. So Philip came in on the phone. He didn't have any trouble. Rakan Amari, I don't know how he came
There's
in.
usually what you guys have to look for is either the top or the bottom, or maybe the screen has moved on you, but you have to look for the controls on the Zoom, and it's either in the top or the bottom, but you want to look for is the microphone. It looks like a microphone. You click on it and it'll unmute you from there. Now, if your computer doesn't have a microphone, you won't be able to unmute.
Okay, Miss V Ingram. Okay, let me throw another one at her. Jacqueline Brown. We'll get someone that can figure it out.
It was by mistake, sorry.
All right, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I understand everything what you guys are saying, and I'm glad I'm here to understand it. Because the yellow box, I bought my yellow box, but I wasn't too keen on it and where to go. So I'm glad I'm here to understand everything tonight, so I know where to stand.
Very good. Well, thanks for coming out here, Jacqueline, and thanks for joining the call. Antonio Reed.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Antonio. Okay, we'll move on to Howard Thorpe. We got like 75 people here, so.
They're saying there's no way to unmute, but some people are, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. You just got to look for it and find the button. And I'm clicking on the ask to unmute button, so it sends more message. Yeah, Antonio, we can hear you.
Oh yes, I've been noticed that you guys come with some real good presentation tonight, and I really do appreciate all that you guys said, and I'm looking into it, I'm thinking about it. But that presentation was really awesome.
Well, thank you, Antonio. Especially Marcus Davis' part. Man, I love listening to that guy. If Marcus had run for president, I'd vote for him.
Yeah. His part was really, really educated. Yeah. Trust me, Marcos, that was a very good job. Thanks for that information. Yeah, cause I'm really hyper fan, and I'm thinking a lot. You know, as you said, I'm not gonna leave it, but I'm doing a lot of thinking and doing something else like what you guys say. That sounds interesting, you know.
Yes, sir.
They always have a plan B. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thanks for that.
Well said.
Okay, let's move
Troy,
on.
real quick, somebody sent me an image that they were on a MacBook or so, and they said they don't have a way of what they need to do is click on audio settings, and that might change the way that you hook up to the mic.
Could be. Okay, so let me get on.
I wonder if the people that are actually unmuted are on a phone. Maybe it's easier on the phone, I guess.
Could be. Pamela Burke, you're up. Just go ahead and unmute yourself. And while we're waiting for Pamela, we're gonna get Tony Furr. You're up, Tony.
Oh, hey, yeah, my mic just came up. Okay, cool. I got it fixed in my advance. Hey Troy, what's up, Marcus?
Hey, Tone.
I finally got in. Hey, quick question, Troy, on who? Because I do a lot of trading. I caught the tail end because me and Don were on a Zoom earlier, and then we jumped in here. I seen where you said we can do some withdrawals in the who. So I have a good bit of XRP, but I didn't really want to sell my XRP. The only reason I had my XRP in there is because I was staking it at the time. But I do have my ledger in my Arculus wallet. But I know I'm not going to be able to withdraw it. So what would you do? You think I should just hold it there, or do you think I should sell that?
Well, you know, everything's a gamble these days. You wouldn't think the exchange that's, you know, governed and regulated in a jurisdiction like Hong Kong would have a problem, but they do. And there's a lot of them even in US jurisdictions that have problems right now. So you got a choice. You can, I think they got 148 different coins that you can exchange your coins for and withdraw. Now you're gonna take a loss because you're gonna pay more for those coins because of the, you know, people aren't willing to sell them at the same price, you know, because they're taking some risk to do that arbitrage. So you're gonna have probably, you know, at least 25% slippage in there if you exchange your XRP to another coin to withdraw it, like PAXG, for instance. If you wait, you know, it's a possibility that the exchange may not receive the funds that there is tied up with other liquidity providers from the who earn and various things they were invested in. You might not get anything, you know. So it's a catch-22. I'm personally gambling that everything's going to be good in a couple of weeks and I'll be able to pull my stuff out. That's why I took my USDT and bought some who tokens when they hit 42 cents, because that's the exchanges, you know, that's the first thing that'll go down is that who token, but
Oh,
the
yes.
exchange owns it.
I mean,
And
I
that's
said
what the exchange runs on.
some things.
Okay. I just want to see what your opinion would be on that, because I mean, I have like 55,000 coins.
Yeah, that's a lot of coins. And I know guys that have millions on the who exchange. I know a guy that's got 4.5 million. I don't have that much on there, but I got plenty on there. And it's enough to, you know, keep you up at night. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I ain't been feeling too well over that one. Because see, I have plenty of, and I have XRP and other exchanges, you know, but I was just brought over a certain amount that I wanted to stake to make that 1% on them, you know, at the time when Who Earn was working.
Stay on the, you know, the Telegram channels, stay on the Twitter channels, and watch what they're saying every day. They let you know they're bringing out, you know, more and more coins you can use every day. So that's all I can say.
Okay.
Take a look at it, see if the slippage is worth it to you to get your money out of there. And if it's not, wait. If you're willing to, you know, give up maybe 25% to get your coins out of there rather than risk later on maybe getting nothing out of there, you might want to do it. So I can't make that decision.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna gamble and just go with it.
Right on.
Good evening.
Well, we got to bring on Carl Liggins here. Go ahead, unmute, Carl. While we're waiting for that, Justin.
I'm
Clark.
unmuted.
Hey, Carl.
Hi. Two quick questions. One of them, it says when somebody buys the purple box or whatever they buy, the platinum box, that their downline 10 deep migrates with them. Does that mean that you get migrated over to Hypernation if you're in their downline?
No. When you buy a purple or a platinum box, you are eligible to receive 8 to 10 levels or unlimited levels. The only way people come over with your box is if they buy $100 membership, bind their account and make a membership purchase. So that only.
Okay, because I just saw that. Yeah, I just saw that when it says that your 10 levels migrates with you or something.
Right. So no, it does not. You have to understand what a node is. And that's just one of the problems. A lot of people don't understand what a node is. A node is a privileged position that we were given for our work ethic. So now you have a team of people who are now exposed to this, making purchases thinking that they're going to get something that the only way to get it is they must be connected. That means your entire crew would have to minimally buy the $100 NFT, bind their account, and then make a $400 purchase over into the nation.
Okay.
That's the only way they're coming with it.
Okay, then I have one more now. And this is, I know they've just been beaten up a lot, you know, about all these pending when your rewards and you're trying to get them over to who, and all these are pending. But
Yes.
I know myself and at least somebody else, we have something that says completed. But
Oh gosh, that means
then
it's arrived.
that
Just
it
check your
hasn't
who.
well, we've checked too, and it's been checked and everything. But the thing is, when you look at your withdrawal amount to the address, the transaction fee, it shows that, the actual received, it says that, but it doesn't show an initiated date. It doesn't show a transaction ID, but it says that it's completed.
Yeah, so just go to the who or wherever you sent it. You know, don't worry, they're changing it. So they're taking all that stuff out. Just go to wherever you sent it to and it will be there. And you will be able to check the transaction history on that to see the entry.
Yeah, but it's not. And I know at least one other person who had the same thing. It said completed and it's not in who.
Gotcha. So then that we can't answer. Okay.
And we've even looked at the address and made sure the address was correct and everything, but you know, for some reason it says completed, but just didn't show up in who. And I just wonder if there's some way they hold it, you know, before
No, sir.
that.
No, sir. Once it says completed, it's there.
Yeah, because I've done one before and it always had a transaction ID. This one doesn't give you a transaction ID.
Don't know, Mr. Liggins. That's a customer service issue to Hyper, not to us.
Okay.
All right. Let's get this Miss V Ingram. I asked her to unmute. I'm trying to unmute everybody, Troy, just, you know, to see if that will work. Miss V. Okay, so.
Okay, how about Markley Seston?
Hello.
Hey, Markley.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yes. I want to thank you so much for tonight information, even though we still have some unanswered question, but I want to thank you. I want to thank Marcus, David, and Trey. I used to hear from you already, even though Trey, you to take it. I want to live by you so I can learn, because I'm a new guy in the crypto world. So I can tell you, I have a few people in my group who are in the call, and it was very, very good for you to come back and to let us know, to give us your insight. So we all in the same boat. We're hoping, and I'm glad I can hear some people who thought the same way, because 2 Saturday ago, I asked a question in the Zoom with Keith William. I think he was uncomfortable, but I told him, listen, I want to be very, very like ethical with my group, because I've been in Hyperverse only since February. And after 3.5 months, that's when I heard those kind of problems. So we stopped rebuying. And then I had a group of 150 people for those 3 months. And I was on my way to build something big, because I came from another network marketing company. So I have a lot of people I wanted to bring over. But because of that trust factor, I'm on the fence now. I don't really know what to do. But tonight, I was like, I was really happy to hear from Marcus. I feel like you have a lot of ethic, a lot of integrity, and that's the kind of people I think people need to work with, because you have to say it the way it is. And David, thank you for coming up with over all those answers from July 8th. and I was in that meeting as well. So I can tell you guys, even though you didn't answer any question that will put us in a very clear position, but what you did tonight was really, really great. And I think a lot of people on the call, they feel like that was awesome. And we can only hope that we will hear from some better answer from corporate. So I wanted to thank you, and I don't know. I will plug in tomorrow to see what you have to share. But I just wanted to thank you for tonight, because I had a lot of things I wanted to share with my group, but I didn't know where to start. I think tonight you gave me a good piece of information I can share with them.
Right on, Markley. Well, thanks for chiming in. We're gonna have to cut this off at some point, but let's do 10 more real quick. Try and keep it to 30 seconds. So Herbatina, James. If you can unmute, then jump out here, Herbatina. And we're losing people. We got about half. We're down to 1,717 people. So
What happened is, Troy, they sent me a picture of it. They don't have a mute button. That's the prop. Something's going on. I don't know what that is, David. They don't have a mute button. They can't unmute.
okay, Bobby Meckens.
Eric was on the phone with me trying to figure that out. If they don't have a microphone on their side or so, see, here's the thing. If nobody was able to unmute themselves and talk, then we have a serious problem. But it's on the other end. I don't know what to do. So,
Sharon Henry, go ahead and unmute yourself, Sharon. Okay, some of these people may not be on anymore too, because you know, it's been so
Maybe.
long. Jerry Gallegos.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Jerry.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, something popped up just then when you called on me and it said unmute, because there's no other way to unmute. And I've done the many Zoom calls, but it's not showing on the navigation. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you. And I've been saying this all along, that all the top leaders need to band together and go in one direction. And I know people have to make their own decisions, but if all the top leaders would have just dug in their heels and say, until you come with a complete plan, outline everything, because we don't represent the company, we represent the members. They trust us, they believe in us, and I want to thank you for what you're doing. I just wish all the other leaders would have followed suit with you and done that. So that's all I wanted to say is thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
thank you.
Okay. Let's see, Gary Joe. Hey, Gary. It looks like he's unmuted.
He's unmuted.
Maybe no microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for taking my call real quick. My question was, when it comes to exchanging or withdrawing your HU and Hyperverse, right now, I know you guys mentioned that you guys are just receiving the rewards and not doing any rebuys. In the event that you were going to do exchange, would you do the HVT and MOF TRC20 or just 100% HVT? How is that working?
Well, you can't do HVT. By tomorrow, HVT will be gone. So HVT is basically going to be gone by tomorrow. I mean, that's just the way it's losing. It is the price of it is 0.0002 on its way to 1.
Okay.
At 0, there'll be no more HVT. So you're still stuck with doing the MOF TRC20, but we need to wait until they give us the clearance so that this way we have the rewards and ready to go.
So you're saying don't do any exchange, don't do no withdrawal at all or exchange?
We're not doing anything yet until we get the clearance to do it. You know what I mean? We need to just hold tight, let those rewards build up, and then we're hoping over the next 30 days, because now they're pushed out to August, that they give us some clear indicator for those one-timers, or, you know, those folks who had never received their withdrawal. You know what I mean? So we're just trying to be patient. We're not trying to jump the gun. We want to make sure we ride when the gun goes off.
Marcus, if I can add to that, if you are able to withdraw your MOF, because there are some people who are able to withdraw their MOF, just don't withdraw it to the who.com exchange for now until they come back online. There are other exchanges. I think OKX, is BitThumb one of them, Troy?
I don't have that list in front of me.
I have it. It's Bit Global.
Oh, okay. Bit Global, OKX, and Who, and then there's one more. I remember there was one more. There was 4. You just have to make sure that that exchange has MOF on that exchange, and then you can move your MOF over to that exchange. If you're using OKX, it's not allowed here in the US. You're gonna have to use VPN or something like that. Get with your sponsor, and maybe they'll be able to walk you through it. But for the time being, don't send it to the who.com if you are able to withdraw your MOF from Hyperverse.
Well, 2 things for that, David. Are you able to, if you were receiving on Who, are you able to change where you receive it?
Yes.
In the system? Okay.
Yes. In the back there, all you have to do is just click on address and then change your address.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And if I have a VPN, as long as it's stationed somewhere else that's not in the US, then it would say.
If you download Opera, which has a free VPN, you can use Europe. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right on, Gary. Okay, AK Farah, you're up.
Fantastic. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Wonderful. Truly appreciate gentlemen, Troy, David, Marcus, Eric, and all the other leaders that didn't get the opportunity to present tonight, and all the folks in the family who attend this great meeting. Gentlemen, with your X like that, ethics and value, like the other gentleman said, we cannot appreciate you enough. Number one, first and foremost, you are the men who makes everybody feel somebody, and you representing us, and that shows your great heart and the value that you carry on. And I highly respect and appreciate you, and I urge you to carry on that. Secondly, a lot of people are questioning a lot. Yes, the whole world is in a collapse when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to the stocks financially. I mean, the whole world's burning somehow. And we are entrepreneurs, and we took a risk. The risk is there. So we are grown people, and you enough and beyond the limit expressed tonight, to make us understand what's going on. And the best has yet to come in a better way and positive. So we're going to stay strong, and we will deliver the message home forward for better living. Tomorrow night is going to be a big night. The gentleman that you guys mentioned, Mr. Marcus, rest of my hairs off to you, man. You digest enough, and that shows the great team that pulling together that want to make everybody achieve greater. That's who you guys are representing tonight. And we're here for you. We are part of the team, and we are staying strong like a movie called Last Man Standing. Keep it up and keep it on, and we're going to fight together forward. Thank you so very much.
Oh, man, absolutely. I love that.
I love it too. Thanks, AK. Okay, Samsung SMG9, Enric Superville. Go ahead and unmute. Okay, we may have lost them. We're down to 1,500 people now. Okay, we're gonna go to Terry Mester.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Terry.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, thank you guys so much. I am totally not savvy about all of this kind of stuff. And I have been with Hyperverse Simp Hyperfund. I was convinced to rebuy. I really went in as a what the word you used, where you're not into
Passive?
trading.
Passive.
Yeah, passive income, just to let it keep building. So, but then I started rebuying. And then when they went to the hyperverse, I went with that. And then they did the hyperverse 02, and I think they did something else. So when they made that last switch, I began to get very cautious, and I stopped rebuying. So I'm not a big trader. I don't have a lot of money in there, but it says that I have 3,000 something pending. I don't even know what that means. I have like 100 and something in what's called rewards. And in my WHO, I have over 300 something. So somewhere it says my assets are 499 something, which would be the addition of the reward and the WHO. But I'm wondering, when I signed on, what I understood was I signed the contract, and it said that the money would not be available to me for 200 days. Well, I know it's been way longer than 200 days, and that was my initial investment. So I was wanting to liquidate, pull out the money, but it doesn't look like, it's like, I'm very confused. I really don't know what to do. I want to be in this market. You guys have presented a very wonderful perspective. You shared a lot, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it. A lot of times I listen to these and it's like so over my head, but it's like at this point, I want to understand where I'm at. I'm with you at this point. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I don't know how to take the money out, but if you could explain those 3 positions and what money is actually available.
That's going to be a little while. Maybe what we can do is have her give us a call, one of us a call tomorrow, and go over it. But have you reached out to your upline, the person who shared the opportunity with you?
I have, and I can't get any specific. I have not. The whole time I keep trying to get understanding, and I'm not getting. He just says, I don't know what that means. I don't know what this means. This is a reward. This is and I'm going, whoa. Number one, I didn't even know where to find out where all of, when I put the money in, how much money I put in. I really need help, and I'm not getting it from the resources that I'm asking. So if anybody is willing to help me.
Usually what we have people do is you go to your sponsor. If your sponsor can't help, then your sponsor needs to learn. And so what you do is you ask your sponsor who his sponsor is, his or her, and then you go to that person. If they can't help, you don't let these other guys off the line. They got to stick on there too. So you get that guy's sponsor and you track up line through your line of sponsorship till you find someone that can help. And that's the way these teams are built, because obviously me and David can't, help out 3,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000, however many, is needing help. And so the best way to do it is just go up your line of sponsorship till you find someone that can help, and everybody knows who their sponsor is. We got to move on here.
Anybody
Dawn,
on this show be willing to talk to me?
You know what, just send us an email, contact@thesatoshishow.com. Let us know who your upline is, and then maybe we'll reach out and see if we can get in touch with your upline.
Well,
we're s-
I think they're under Troy. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Well, contact at thesatoshishow.com. And just send us an email. We'll take care of it. We got a lot of people to move through. Don Wonder, I know that name. I think you're from Branson, aren't you?
I am,
Thank you.
Troy. Thank you. I had bought the yellow box when they allowed the HU for $100 to acquire it, and that's what I did. I haven't done nothing more with it. I haven't done any withdrawals. I'm really not wanting to be into Hypernation. I do want to stay in Hyperverse, but if they're just going to take away the rebuy button and I've never got my one time out, and I'm really not understanding. I don't know who my upline is. I know 3 people out of Virginia. I came in from someone from Virginia, so I don't have any type of help or anything. I've just learned what I've learned since October of last year.
I just got back onto here and kind of listened to the end, but you know, this is what I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is one of the things that as a leader, you know, when you get into this type of you know, network marketing or MLM or so, as a leader, you got to be a strong leader. You have to help the people that you share the opportunities with, and you got to be knowledgeable to continue on and help them. And I apologize for the folks. I feel really bad that you guys had uplines that are just not helping you at all. But like Troy said, keep going up on the upline. But go ahead and send us an email, contact@thesatoshishow.com, and we'll try and do the best that we can. We, you know, we won't have all the time in the day to do this, but as we have time, we'll try and reach out to you.
You said the one that's above you and Troy's head, right? And then it stopped. What is the email?
Contact@thesatoshishow.com. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and type that in
the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to type it into the chat. So if anyone has specific questions and they're having a hard time, satoshishow.com. I mean, yes.
And I have been rebuying, but I've decided to quit. It's been a few days, and I was rebuying every day, but then people keep saying, no, don't rebuy. And then they said, well, don't be bringing people in anymore to the Hyperverse either. That's what I get out of some of their Zooms.
No, you don't want to invite anyone because
Troy, wait. Let's answer it this way. We can only share with you what we are doing, and we're not inviting, and we're not rebuying. We're just letting everything in our pending rewards go to our rewards bucket until they come out with a signed, sealed, and delivered plan. Then that we can look at and see if, you know, we want to move forward or not. So,
right.
But that's up to you. I mean, we're just sharing what we're doing. Everyone has.
Troy, you here in Branson?
I'm just outside of Branson. So we live between Branson and Ozark.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of you through your email and on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been on vacation for a while, and then I got back to this. So we got to move on here.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for all your information. I've learned a lot tonight. Thank you.
You bet, Don. London Wilson. Ask to unmute. Okay, while we're waiting, Candace Thomas.
All right,
Okay.
that was great.
Maria Garcia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, you bet, Candace. We can hear you.
Thank you so much for doing this. I'm wondering if you guys have an idea of how backed up they are with the withdrawals. I know someone who is still waiting for something from March, and I'm waiting for my withdrawal from May. Do you guys have any indication of how backed up they are, since they're saying they're getting to them, and there's messages in Telegram where they're showing how much they're putting into the wallet and all of that?
No, we have no updates. That's information that we just don't have. I wish we did, but we don't know. We don't know about their liquidity. What we see doesn't look liquid. So we can only go by what we see. So to ask, do we know how backed up they are? Don't know. There's no way we would know.
What we do know is that all the withdrawals are being done manually. That's all we know.
That we do know.
Yes.
And have you come across anyone who's been waiting for a long time who's actually gotten their stuff to come through?
Yeah, we have, not many, but they are coming due sporadically. So, I guess they're doing the best they can. That's why I tell people all the time, you just gotta, deal with the process and, just hang tight.
Well, the good news so far is that we're seeing that there's an upkick in Bitcoin. So hopefully if Bitcoin gets to 48,000, we may be out of this sooner. We hope.
Thanks.
Okay, Floyd Williams. Go ahead and unmute. Okay.
Troy, I think we need to do like maybe a couple more and then
Okay, Ronald Basile. Yeah, we're running out of people too. We're down to 1,300 people. So people are going to bed, dropping off. We've been on here a long time. We'll do one more. Let me just keep going down till we hit someone. Let's see. Lisa Gange. Go ahead and unmute. Okay. S. Williams.
Here's Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, you're muted one more time. Oh, there you go. We can hear you, Lisa.
Yep. Well, thank you, gentlemen. That's a fantastic presentation. It's nice to know exactly what's going on per se. I do have one quick question. I never did understand what NFT stood for and what was all the hoopla over it. If you may explain that.
Okay, an NFT is a
Please.
non-fungible token. Basically, what that means is you've got the title to that token. Only one person can own it. So only you own it, and you've got the contract on the blockchain for that. It's your property. It's stronger than a deed, a title to land, because that's your NFT, and there's only one of them. So it may be a picture, it may be a song, it may be a clip from YouTube, but you own it. Whatever it is that's on that blockchain, it could be real estate. They have NFTs for real estate now, but the ones from Hyperverse, they're pictures, drawings of kind of like cartoon characters, and you own that picture, which doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot of value. It could have, depending on who is collecting them. So that's basically it in a nutshell. NFT is a non-fungible token. You can Google it and get a lot more information than what we've got.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Troy, Marcus, Eric.
Have a nice evening.
Well, thank you,
Thank
Lisa.
you, Lisa. What do you guys think about this? I know there's still a ton of hands and it's getting pretty late and people are dropping off, but maybe what we can do is we invite everyone again just for maybe next week for a show where we just do Q&A. That's it, from the start to beginning. I mean, from the start to the end, from the start to the beginning.
I'm in. Just pick a day and we'll set it up. Maybe next Wednesday we could do a Q&A.
Yeah,
Just for everybody that wasn't able to jump on here, because we got like 100 people with their hands raised yet.
right. And we're not going to be able to go through them all. So the people who are still left, we're going to go ahead and shoot out an email on the replay, but we're going to also add something in there to join us maybe next week for just Q&A. That's it. We're not going to do any presentation. We're not doing anything except for just Hyperverse, Hypernation, Q&A, where you can just get on and just ask what you ever want, your heart's desire.
I like that, David.
Okay.
I like that absolutely a lot. Is the contact information for you in the chat correct? It says contact us at satoshishow.com.
Wrong, and
Oh, I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Contact at
that's a great idea though, to have that meeting next week to get all these questions answered for everybody. That would be wonderful.
And
Plus,
we won't spend any time in introductions or anything
right.
like that. We just say, here it is. The floor is all you guys.
And then hopefully we'll have some more answers.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have some more confusing answers.
I think we'll have more questions than we have answers.
But I think that's what we should do, and just spend an hour, 2 hours with everybody and get the family to be a family.
I love that.
Right on, guys. Well, it's late. Let's wrap it up. And thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, David. Thank everybody for joining this call. You know, all we can do is pray right now.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's our best ammunition at this point. But I want everybody, don't forget, register. As you're leaving out, click on register for tomorrow. And then we'll be back. And then we're going to send out something for next week. We'll pick that date for question and answers. I think that's just one of the best things that has happened all night. This way we can hear from you guys.
Yeah. And you can hear from us with the answers.
We'll answer. But this hearing what their questions are, you know, everybody wants to be heard.
Right.
So I love that.
Okay. Good night, everyone. We'll see you guys
Great.
next week.
Thank you so very much, gentlemen. God bless you and good night.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Dawn.